Everybody get out and vote today.
Yes.
Do your
Monday, I
civic
did
duty.
Monday.
My civic duty.
Took my kids with me.
Mom, how about you? Did you vote today?
You know what? Stop it.
She didn't vote.
No, I was right around the corner. I was going to
Wow.
vote, but I
What
looked.
an example.
Oh, God.
Mother.
He knows why, but why
How
is he
dare
bringing that
you.
up?
What
Knowing
an
that
example.
I wanted to vote, but I thought I couldn't vote because I'm independent. And I looked it up, and it said, no, you can't vote.
I told her
What?
that doesn't make any sense.
Because
Like,
I looked it up online.
How
and
would that, Mom? That's only
primaries.
But I looked it up to see, and maybe it meant primaries. I don't know. But I thought because I was ready to vote. It's not like I didn't want to vote.
He said,
Well, I did see that Abigail Spanberger has been projected to win Virginia already. So, Obama campaigning against the black woman.
It worked.
It worked. Him and the
What's the numbers?
NAACP. So what I see right now, 53.1% to 46.9.
But she couldn't move up.
The polls just closed, and there's only 6% of the vote reporting, but they're already calling the race. So I don't know. It's so weird that they do that. They're projecting her to win already, and they only 6% of the vote has been in.
Did I ever tell you a story about how my neighbor, he used to, my neighbor to the left of me, he used to come out in the backyard. He smoked all the time, and he would just have conversations until it started. He thought that I was on the other side.
He thought you was a liberal.
And then, he was saying stuff, and then I would just rebuttal him with stuff. And then he's like, oh, you know what? I have to go pee. And then from that day, he hasn't been out smoking. It's been like a year almost.
So you don't want to have these talks no more.
And I see his daughter who lives with him. She's the one that did my district.
Okay.
She, and then he ended up showing up.
Wow.
I felt like he looked at me. I know who you're voting for.
My 89-year-old aunt went to vote.
That's
I was
good.
surprised because she said she wasn't going to vote, but she did.
So you're 89
Okay,
year old
I know what you're going to say. Shut up.
Dang. Dang.
Well, I mean, you brought it up, Mom. You're congratulating everybody on all their great voting they did, and it seems like you dropped the ball a little bit. No, but it was funny because we voted we voted in the primary, and I'm a registered independent, but you can't vote in the primary unless you register. So I remember when we went to the poll, we went to the voting place, and it was two like older black ladies there, and they were like, we were like, oh yeah, we want to vote in the primary, and they looked at us and said, oh, well, you're registered independent, so you have to switch your affiliation or whatever, or claim one of the parties in order to vote. And I said, okay. And she was like, all right, so just let us know which one you want to vote for. And we both was like Republican, and you just saw their face change. Like,
I refuse.
here. And when we showed up there today, because now that we have a party there, it shows up when you sign in. Your party shows up. So Liz got the black lady. You just see her face when she scan her little ID, and it pops up. There you go. Just going in there and
that's so crazy. That it's really, it's when you really look at how people perceive conservatives, or just the way, especially when you're black or you're a minority, specifically black. That
only black. No other minorities are just like assumed.
Latinos do it too.
They're not assumed to be a part.
But I'm just saying, like, they get aggressive if they feel like you have abandoned what they feel you should.
Right.
I'm talking about like the unseen allegiance, like almost like you're supposed to be with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's so weird, like when you start having conversations and people do start telling you, because they lead off with like everything that's wrong based on their idea of what being a conservative is.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to tell you everything that's wrong. Here's my point of view. And then when you start, because a lot of times you're not even saying, hey, I am a Republican.
Yeah.
You're just pushing back on certain talking points because then you've heard them before.
Right.
And you're like, well, I don't think so. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
you're trying to show them that it's not as black and white as you're trying to make
right,
it.
right. So you're not even taking the angle of like, I'm a conservative.
Yeah.
I love Republicans.
Yeah.
You're just basically like, for example, like when you're talking about like deportation, that was a big topic. It's kind of quelled down a little bit. But there has been so much like footage of Obama talking about coming to the country illegally, and if you get a criminal mindset, and
Hillary Clinton too.
He was.
All
He
of
was
them.
called the deporter in chief
Yeah.
at one time. He deported way more people.
Yeah.
And you're just pushing back not on the idea of conservatism or Republican. You're just pushing back on the notion that like one person is way more evil because they're affiliated with a party.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, there's a lot of drone
And
strikes.
let's be real. It's not even about that he's affiliated with the party. You're just told that he's evil. And
Right.
it's just like, Orange Man bad
and
no
I'm not
matter
even
what.
I'm not even
Yeah.
talking about him. I'm just like when we're talking about for instance, like I was talking to a coworker of mine. I was talking about the whole rise in anti-blackness, and I was like, yeah, but that started under Obama.
Yeah.
With Trayvon Martin.
Yep.
Henry Gates when he was stopped. There was a lot of stuff that happened.
And he fanned the flames of that.
Right, but I like what he did was he said Trayvon could have looked like my son. He didn't come with any legislation.
Yeah.
For like if it was that important and it
Right.
was such a hot topic, he was.
All he did was say things
Eric
that
Holder
kept,
was the-
that kept dividing the
Right.
country.
I was just pushing back on that, and his attitude was like, "Oh, you're Republican, huh?" I'm like,
That's where they go every
Yeah.
time.
Just-
they go there every time
You're-
when you point out, okay, but there's hypocrisy
Right,
all
right.
over the place.
I was
That
like,
all of
yeah.
a sudden you got to be a Republican,
right. So we were talking about that, and I was like, well, there was a lot of deportation under him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drone strikes under him. Like I was just trying to say, hey, listen, what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah.
I know that's what you believe, but there's
Right.
another side of it.
Yeah.
And immediately I'm relegated to like,
Yeah.
you're this. So,
Yeah, I mean, one of the most recent examples is them making a huge deal about this renovation at the White House.
Right.
And then people have been posting all of the clips of them like doing these praise news stories. They did this whole like 20-minute piece on when Obama
He was doing
remodeled
this.
the East and West Wing. It was like
4 tennis courts.
no, it wasn't. That was a fake story.
Was
like,
it?
Yeah, everybody kept saying, "Oh, he was remodeled the tennis courts and the basketball courts." That's not what happened. They did a complete renovation. Like
That was
remodeled-
$350
yeah, it was
million.
estimated at $340 million of taxpayer money.
Taxpayer money.
Yeah.
But then they started pushing that fake story of like, all he did was renovate a tennis court and turn it into a basketball court. That's not true. That's not what happened.
But didn't that news lady say it was going to be tennis courts and all this other stuff too?
They already had tennis courts there. You know what I'm saying?
So they were redoing.
yeah, there was already tennis courts at the White House, and they already had basketball courts. They were doing a whole remodeling. They had to fix plumbing. They had to do a whole bunch of stuff. They had
But
to,
your point is that they're always renovating
yes,
the White House.
and it's not a story. No one cares.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not,
until
right. But when
It's Donald
it's like
Trump.
when you have to create a narrative around anything that one man is doing,
Right.
and then people just run with that.
And that's my point, and I'm not even offering pushback to say, here's what's going on, this is better. I'm just saying, well, no, just you're saying this, but that's not the entire truth.
Yeah.
You're just telling me sound bites and clips that you've heard.
yes,
Right.
and they don't even know the full content. Just like that dude on Culture War, right? With Tim Pool, he couldn't even tell Tim Pool what the cases that Trump has been indicted for or whatever. 34 counts of felony. He didn't even know anything about the cases at all.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it's a talking point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just talking points.
Well, that's why they do it. That's why they hit him with 34 counts. That's why
He's a felon.
they want to
Yeah.
stamp that. They couldn't wait for him to be convicted of that because they wanted to stamp that. All the headlines the next day were the mugshot, 34 counts. They wanted to be able to. And then during the election, what everybody say, oh, you're going to vote for a felon. You're 34 count felon. Oh, you're going to vote for a 30 time. Like that was,
Right.
they did that to be able to put that stink on him, but it didn't work.
A felon, a fascist.
Yeah.
Hitler.
They even said
Nazi.
pedophile. I even
Yeah.
heard people saying pedophile.
Yeah.
I heard the Epstein thing, but not
Yeah. They trying to put that on him because of the Epstein thing.